to Coffee and a Conversation hosted by CJ Abernathy for South Dakota District 23 Senate 2020. A father, a Marine Corps combat veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan, Purple Heart recipient, with a bachelor's degree in information technology software engineering. CJ is a podcast producer and host. Please check out our social media pages for more information. If you would like to join this broadcast, click the link in the description to join. Coffee and a Conversation starts now. Have a good day or don't, the choice is always yours.
Just a little coffee. You don't hate everybody. You don't hate everybody. Oh, sorry, I'm live. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. Well, that's awkward. What's up, everybody? It's your boy CJ, the Internet Warlord, coming to you live and loud from the great state of Meth Dakota. You know Meth Dakota. It's the state just south of North Dakota, that Dakota. The state formerly known as South Dakota, until the Queen of Meth herself, Governor Kristi Noem, proclaimed that we're all on meth. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never even tried meth, but that's not even a thing anymore. And that's kind of goes to show that our government is nothing more than a propaganda machine trying to control a narrative. You ever get that feeling that some days they just struggle to change the news cycle? They can't shake old news stories. Oh, man, I wish this one would just go away. I wish that one would just go away. Yet they never do. Just stay there. Continuing to fester in our tabs. I'm just waking up, folks. Just waking up. Yes, I'm feeling a little governorish today. Today is one of them days. Hey, but it is what it is. So, let's get right to it. If you want to join this broadcast, there's a link in the description. I believe it's above. It's on Facebook, below if it's on YouTube. And yes, I remembered it today. As well as please go to patreon.com/Internet Warlords and join the Patreon today. I will be moving exclusively to Patreon after the rigged election in November. So the only way that you're going to be able to watch this lovely face talk about any of the issues moving forward is on Patreon. Now, one of the things that I like about Patreon, for those of you that don't even know what it is, first and foremost, Internet Warlords is creating content you must be 18 years older to view. Are you 18 or older to view? That's a good sign that we're going to be at least somewhat have to worry a little less, I should say, over on Patreon. And again, we've got our membership levels for $5. You can be a little warlord. You know, we all have a little warlord in us. For $10, you can join the Warlord Strike Team, which will get you more access than the $5 Patreon members. And then for $20, you too can call yourself an Internet Warlord. Yes, you cannot call yourself an Internet Warlord unless you join the Internet Warlord membership level. And thank you to the people that have already gone over to patreon.com/Internet Warlords and signed up. So, and if you're just feeling like, hey, I feel just like this was a great broadcast, CJ, there's a tip jar at internetwarlords.live. You can go to internetwarlords.live and help support the broadcast in that way as well. So, let's get to the headlines, shall we? So, today we're going to start with Seattle. We'll move to dismantle CHOP after shootings, the mayor says. For whatever reason, this Fox News article is not working for a guy. But we'll go this way with it. See if that works that way. Nope. Nope. I feel like this is what happens when you wake up in the morning and things are slow. For whatever reason, I don't know why it's not working. I've got like a gig internet speed up and down. I have no idea why. But yeah, I tried playing that and it just doesn't want to work today. But to go back to, man, will it actually work? Really? Play for me? Play for me? Ah, it ain't gonna work. Oh well. So, Seattle will move to end the police free zone known as Capitol Hill Organized Protest or CHOP after 2 recent shootings. Really? That's all it took, huh? That's it. Oh, that's the end of CHOP. Chaz. The mayor announced Monday, signaling that stunning chapter in the city's history could be drawing to a close. The mayor said the violence was distracting from changes sought by thousands of peaceful protesters seeking to address racial inequality and police brutality. Activists set up CHOP in the city's Capitol Hill neighborhood about 2 weeks ago, barricading off the area after police evacuated a ransacked precinct building there. Quote, the cumulative impacts of gathering and protests and the nightmare atmosphere and violence has led to increasingly difficult circumstances for our businesses and residents, Durkin said at a news conference. Quote, the impacts have decreased and the safety has decreased. So that's it. That's it. Chop Chaz, they had their run in the sun. That's pretty much the end all be all for that. So, what do we do now? I mean, it's game over. It's done, sir, done. None of my videos are wanting to play today. It's just this. Just this. No idea what's going on. But yeah, CHOP is over. End of discussion. But you know, was it? Now, from what I understand, there was an attempt last night at to essentially make their own autonomous zone in front of the White House. When I first saw the live feed, I was like, "Oh, this should be lovely. I wonder what's going to happen here." There we go. Yeah, here we go. I already had it up. So that kind of leads into the next story here, and that there was a clash at the White House, which prompts Secret Service to tell press to leave grounds in unusual move. I don't know if this. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Well,
leave the White House grounds tonight. At the same time, protesters were trying to topple a statue of former President Andrew Jackson in Lafayette Park, across the street from the White House. Let's bring in our White House correspondents, Caitlin Collins and Boris Sanchez. They're live for us on the scene. Good evening to both. Caitlin, reporters were told to leave the White House grounds earlier tonight. What happened?
Yeah, Don, it's something that has not happened ever since I've been covering the White House, but reporters were told to leave the White House grounds earlier by Secret Service officers immediately at that time. Now, that typically doesn't happen when there is a protest, when there is some kind of security threat even. If someone's jumped over a barricade, typically they just have the reporters go into the briefing room, they'll lock the doors while they figure out what's going on, and then everything goes on as normal. But tonight they were asked to leave the White House, to clear out of the White House, and that came, of course, as you saw those protesters inside Lafayette Square trying to put on that statue with those ropes. And now these protesters have been pushed past out of the park where they were earlier, and now they're right here on H and 16th Street, pushed out by Park Police, but they've also got the Metropolitan, the D.C. Police here as well, Don.
Boris, I want to bring you in. You talked to a protester on the ground. What are people saying about this?
Yeah, Don. So this all sort of culminated right around 6:30 p.m. I was actually walking away from this area and I saw a group of protesters grab a fence that was part of a construction site that's adjacent to Lafayette Park, and they started moving it to the middle of the intersection, trying to block out police. I left the area, and when I came back a short time later, they had blocked off several more intersections. They were stopping not only police, but also civilians, just people walking their dogs, neighbors that were out. I effectively tried to argue that I should be allowed inside. I'm pressed. I wanted to cover what was going on. They let me in, and I spoke to one of the organizers of what they're calling the Black House Autonomous Zone. Clearly, an
Black
attempt to
House.
recreate the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone that we're seeing over the last several weeks in Seattle, where protesters there have blocked off police. I spoke to a young man who goes by D. He didn't want to give me his real name. He didn't want his picture taken. He told me that he's 28 years old, that he's from D.C., and that this spontaneous move was not planned. This is something that protesters just started doing spontaneously from one moment to the next. He told me that most of them don't actually know each other, and I want you to take a look at this. This is actually St. John's Episcopal Church. This is right across the street from the White House. You might recognize it. This is where President Trump held his photo op on June 1st after law enforcement officials cleared peaceful protesters from Lafayette Park using pepper balls. The night before that took place, protesters got into the church. They set fire to the basement. It appears it's been defaced again with that BHAZ, the Black House Autonomous Zone, Don.
Black House Autonomous Zone. Wow. The Baz. What a day. So, the Chaz, the Chop.
A racial slur describing the coronavirus, calling it Kung Flu. That's a quote. That's his quote at his rally in Tulsa. The White House not only defending it moments ago in the briefing, but essentially defending the use of racial slurs.
Of my own. Last July, President Trump declared
himself
the least racist person there is anywhere in the world. Why does he use racist phrases like the Kung Flu?
The president doesn't. What the president does do is point to the fact that the origin of the virus is China. It's a fair thing.
Okay. What a dumb bitch. Oh, sorry, dumb bimbo. See, this is why I need to go to Patreon. Because I can't say the word. It starts with a C. I think there's a U next. You get the point. He literally in front of 6,200 people called it the Kung Flu and all of it. So we already have a new lying press secretary. Blows my mind. But yeah, that wasn't supposed to be where I was at there. That one just kind of auto played. So they're setting up their own autonomous zone, or attempting to, in front of the White House, called the Baz. The Black Hill Autonomous Zone? Is that what they called it? Yeah. Good luck with that. I will be tracking Baz as Chop has come to an end. So on the day where the mayor says they're dismantling Chop, in D.C. they're starting Baz. Or as it'll soon be known, Bahop. You get this feeling that they're having a hard time changing the news cycle. Yeah, I mean, I keep telling people that this media is what runs the government. The government runs in news cycles. In clickbait information. By the time a story gets down to the lowest, news article writer, they need a new story. They need that new Baz. Think about it, Baz. What are you guys out here doing, Baz? Oh, God. Oh, the stupid never ends. They're having a hard time changing the news cycle, folks. It is true. So they don't even know where to go with it. So when in doubt, just pay your people. President Trump next stimulus check will be, quote, very generous, and announced in a couple weeks. So from Jim Wang, President Trump spoke with Joe St. George, national political editor and Washington correspondent for Scripps, And he talked about the prospects of another stimulus package. Let's just go ahead and see what they got there. Assuming it wants to work. None of my videos want to work today. It's just like, well. Oh, well. Here's the transcript. No, thank you. No, thank you. Let's see if we can just click on it and go right to the video.
Viewers in Florida, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, who are still struggling economically, sir. They spent all of that first stimulus check.
Oh.
Are you going to get them a second?
Just for the record, Kendall, how long did it take me to spend my stimulus check? Less than 24 hours? Less than? Pretty sure it was less than 24 hours. So, yes, Daddy Government, please. Give me more of that sweet government money.
I have a lot of viewers in Florida, Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, who are still struggling economically, sir. They spent all of that first stimulus check. Are you going to get them a second stimulus
check?
Yeah,
we are. Look, we had this...
When are you going to get it?
We had this going better than anybody's ever seen before. We had the best job numbers, the best economics, the best economy we've ever had. And then we had the virus come in from China, and now we're rebuilding it again. We will be doing another stimulus package. It'll be very good. It'll be very generous. And
how much? How much? People want to know.
You'll find out about it. You'll find out.
When are you going to do it? When are you going to announce it?
I think over the next, I think it's going to be bipartisan. I think it's going to be over the next couple of weeks, probably.
I have a lot of viewers in Florida, Ohio.
So, as you can tell, Daddy Warbucks over here is about to drop another load on your boy. That sounds so bad. All right, so listen, I'm a cheap date. I think I think maybe $4 or $5 grand would be pretty legit. I'd like to buy a rifle, some ammo, practice targets, maybe a motorcycle. Yeah, stimulate me, Daddy Warbucks. Stimulate me, please. But then you go, man, they are just all out of ideas for what to do. And then you see Godzilla is on its way. Godzilla dust cloud from Sahara blankets Caribbean on its way to the U.S. Air quality sinks to hazardous levels. Just in time for everybody to be wearing masks. If we didn't have bad air quality wearing corona-phobic masks, now we've got Godzilla dust clouds. Yeah. So, as you can see here, this video wants to work. As you can see, Godzilla is coming as the first round hits the Caribbean. This dust cloud is expected to last a couple weeks. It's only supposed to go as far as to, from what I understand, Missouri, maybe. You get that, they might see a little bit of it. So yeah, they're having a hard time changing the news cycle. They're not gonna be able to keep it up very much longer, until something big. Oh wait, here's a satellite image from the dust cloud here. Go ahead and back that up a smidge. You guys can see the satellite image here. And as you can see, that dust it's just rolling up, but it's not expected to make it all the way to South Dakota, so. But hey, just in time, right? So, what happened at the White House yesterday, though, that takes some precedence, though? As we said earlier, protesters tried to topple Andrew Jackson's statue near White House. Police intervened, swinging batons and using chemical irritants now. It's not chemical weapons anymore. It's chemical irritants. It sounds less war crimey than chemical weapons used against your own people. So, there's that whole thing. So they tried to topple the statue here. I mean, it's mainly like white people, it looks like. I mean, so I don't. Maybe they're using the white guys as slaves now?
Protesters and police clashing in Lafayette Park across from the White House.
What, ABC News isn't going to let me play the video?
A large group breaking through the fence surrounding the statue of former President Andrew Jackson, trying to topple the monument with chains and ropes. The police moving in, making a barrier around the statue. Later, demonstrators setting fire to 2 dumpsters. Reporter Jay Korf with our Washington station WJLA was there.
A huge police presence here. In fact, just within the last few moments, police kind of pull back a little bit into the middle of 8th Street, kind of forming an arc. And, you know, who's to say how much longer folks are going to be out here? We have a sense they're going to be out here for quite some time.
In a late-night tweet, President Trump threatened 10 years in prison for the numerous arrests made, calling efforts to topple the statue disgraceful vandalism of a magnificent statue. Critics saying Jackson, the 7th president and face of the $20 bill, has a legacy tied to slave ownership and military campaigns against Native Americans.
A public reminder of the Native American Holocaust and also of the Black American Holocaust of slavery. That's what Andrew Jackson represented.
In Florida Monday, someone defaced another statue of Jackson in Jacksonville, a city named after the former president. The prominent statue covered in red paint with the words slave owner written on the base. Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas is now calling on attorney.
Yeah, no, I mean, they know their history. I mean, he did abolish the central banking system of the time. I mean, that's his one credit, although when I hear that in history, I go, but what did he really do? I'm being told, well, yeah, he toppled the central banking system. What else did he do, though? What are we not being told? But, yeah, no, definitely a slave owner. Definitely led a genocide against Native Americans. They know their history. I mean, that's, what are you going to do from it? What are you going to do? So we covered Godzilla. We covered that. Like I said, it blows my mind. All right, we go to next. The failing New York Times. 41 cities, many sources, how false Antifa rumors spread locally. Claims about the involvement of anti-fascist activists in protests of racism show how many ways false information spreads inside communities online. I mean, they are struggling to change the news cycle. That's what this is. There's no doubt in my mind. Here's a picture right now of the New York Times. Listen, South Dakota made the New York Times. A vast majority of demonstrators in Sioux Falls, South Dakota on May 31st were local residents, the police said, not Antifa members who, rumors held, were arriving by the busloads. So, Sioux Falls, South Dakota made the Seattle Times. It's a pretty cool little thing there. Just you know, hey, want to bring that up. So in recent weeks, as demonstrations against racism spread across the country, residents in at least 41 U.S. cities and towns became alarmed by rumors that the loose collective of anti-fascist activists known as Antifa was heading to their area. According to an analysis by New York Times, in many cases, they contacted their local law enforcement for help. In each case, it was for a, quote, threat that never appeared. President Trump has spread some unfounded rumors about Antifa to a national audience, including his accusations, without evidence, that a 75-year-old Buffalo protester who was hospitalized after being knocked down by a police officer could be an Antifa provocateur. Ugh, yeah. But the local level, the source of the false information has usually been more subtle and shows the complexity of stunning misinformation online. The bad information often first appears in Twitter or Facebook or a YouTube video there. The big three. The big three. The fake information comes from the big three. The bad information often appears first. Yep, got it. It is then shared online spaces like local Facebook groups, the neighborhood social networking app Nextdoor, and community texting networks. These posts can fall under the radar of the tech companies and online fact checkers. And not that I agree that these online fact checkers are really legitimate sources of information themselves. But I've known a few that have been spreading these rumors for sure. Quote, the dynamic is tricky because many times these local groups don't have much prior awareness of the body of conspiratorial content surrounding some of these topics, said Renee DeRista, a disinformation researcher at the Stanford Internet Observatory. What? There's a Stanford Internet Observatory. Like, they just observe the internet? Well, what's up, Internet Warlord? I kind of observe the internet too. Maybe we should call this the Internet Warlord Internet Observatory. I still like Command Center of Freedom. Quote, the first thing they see is a trusted fellow community member giving them a warning. Here are 4 ways Antifa falsehoods spread in local communities. Now listen, I'm not going to point fingers at anybody. I'm not going to be like, hey, you, I watched your videos. I saw what you said about the thing and did the stuff and the hurt, you know. Uh-oh. Seattle. Not Seattle. Sioux Falls. Wrong story. Here's one example of how it spread. After one tweet, dozens of calls to the police. Sioux Falls Chamber. The Sioux Falls Chamber fell for this. We're being told that buses are en route from Fargo for today's march downtown. Downtown businesses, please bring in any furniture, signs, etc. that could possibly be thrown through windows. Keep our city safe and peaceful. Even the Sioux Falls Chamber. Wow. One on the last weekend in May, the police in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, decided to investigate whether busloads of Antifa protesters were headed to town. It shows that can happen from a single tweet. They are responding to rumors spreading quickly among residents online and first posted to Twitter by the local Chamber of Commerce. Quote, we're being told that buses are en route from Fargo for today's march downtown. The group posted on Twitter, bringing any furniture, signs, blah, blah, blah. We just read that. The tweet was later deleted because the internet doesn't remember things. The internet doesn't have screenshot capability, and the internet doesn't have screen recorder and all that stuff that we've come accustomed to in the last 10 or what? How long has there been screenshots? Ooh, we'll get to this. Equality South Dakota Political Action Committee letter for me, huh? Interesting. All right, we'll get to that here too by the end of the day. Thank you. Yeah, right. Mail time. You going to work now? All right. Have a good day. Love you. See you later. The tweet was later deleted, but not before the rumor spread verbatim on Facebook, where it was even translated into Spanglish. On Facebook, screenshots of the tweet and other posts about the group message collected more than 4,600 likes and shares, according to CrowdTangle, a Facebook-owned tool that analyzes interactions across social medias. These included shares by Facebook pages of 3 local news outlets with a combined reach of 36,238 followers, and 2 posts in Spanish-speaking local Facebook groups, which reached 2,611 followers. Twitter said it had taken down hundreds of groups, quote, under its violent extreme group policy, and continues to enforce policies against hateful conduct every day across the world. Facebook said its fact-checking partners rate many false claims about the protests, including about Antifa. The rumors led dozens of people to reach out to local police, according to Sunday, according to Sam Clemens, the public information officer at the Sioux Falls Police Department. Quote, but on the day of the protest, we didn't have any evidence of any buses coming out of town carrying people. Clemens said. The vast majority of protesters were local residents, he said. The Greater Sioux Falls Chamber of Commerce said it had gotten the information from its sources it knew and believed to be credible. Quote, we received information that led us to believe there was a cause for concern, such as we wanted to encourage local business owners to take responsible precautionary steps for their businesses, said Jeff Griffin, the group's president. Quote, we removed the post because we realized it was contributing to a different message that we did not intend. Oh, what a day. What a day. There's more to that story. It'll be in the show notes. I've always wanted to say that. All right, so yesterday we covered a story about one Colin Montavious Kaepernick. I don't know what his middle name is. But apparently Brett Favre denies trying to compare Colin Kaepernick with Pat Tillman. Oh my God. Wait. What? Wait a minute. No. He wouldn't. Did he? He denies it? What? Hold on. Dan Bongino. Where are you at, Mr. Dan Bongino? For those of you guys that don't know, Dan Bongino is a guy that, well, let's just put it to you this way. Why won't it play now? Why won't it give me the Dan Bongino episode? Why does my YouTube do this sometimes? Oh, that's because it's on this guy's account. Well, duh. Yeah, you just switch accounts. All right, now let's go find where he goes all off on it. Where was it? Where was it? There it is. Sorry, Dan. So this is why I'm telling you, fake news is everywhere. Everywhere. And anybody, at any time, can hear it.
Before I get to my next point, wait, hold up. She's getting ready to move. Before we get to my next point, I just want to get this next story quick because I got a lot more material.
Let's check it out.
Showing again how people who don't know anything about anything should probably.
Ooh, wait, hold on. I love it when people preface these kind of stories with this shit. Hold on.
She's getting ready to move. Before we get to my next point, I just want to get this next story quick because I got a lot more material. Showing again how people who don't know anything about anything should probably not say anything about things they don't know anything about.
Mr. Bongino, I watch your show almost every day. I listen intently. I'm that libertarian that listens to you to gain my insight into the Trumplican mindset. While I respect your work, I respect your work and your dedication to your craft. Make no mistake about it. I am a peon broadcaster. I am a fart in the wind compared to Mr. Dan Bongino here. Make no mistake about it. I don't claim to be this macho Fox News contributor, former Secret Service agent. You know, I too have ran for political office and lost my ass off. You know, in a crushing defeat. But this is what I'm trying to get. There's a whole theme to today's show if you can't figure it out. But when I saw this, you're the first guy I thought of from yesterday's show. And I just want to just start this one more time because, oh, God, it makes my whole day.
Before we get to my next point, I just want to get this next story quick because I got a lot more material. Showing again how people who don't know anything about anything should probably not say anything about things they don't know anything about. Here's Brett Favre, who I used to respect. I now am just kind of done with this dope. So Brett Favre was a great quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Brett Favre, according to TMZ Sports, says that Colin Kaepernick, you know, the depicting pigs as socks wearing guy, Kaepernick is similar to Pat Tillman. I assume hero status will be stamped on Kaepernick. Really? Oh, that's fascinating. Here's from the piece. Here's the actual quote by Brett Favre, in case you think I'm misquoting him. Listen, you're a fan of this guy? Great. You do you. This guy, if I had an autographed Brett Favre jersey right now, I would throw it right in the garbage. I'd be embarrassed to show it in my house. Here's Brett Favre this week, and who doesn't know anything about anything. Obviously, Pat Tillman. He's compared to Pat Tillman. A man who gave up his salary and job in the NFL with the Arizona Cardinals. Do you have that piece from the? Oh, okay, sorry. Who actually gave up his job as an NFL, I think a safety with the Arizona Cardinals to go fight overseas, Pat Tillman, and who died over there, Brett Favre. But you have the photo of the socks, right? This is Colin Kaepernick. That's it. That's Colin Kaepernick's ankle. What is he wearing? He's wearing socks with police officers depicted as pigs. So Brett Favre is comparing this guy, cops as pigs wearer, with Pat Tillman, a Patriot who left his $1 million job in the NFL to go fight overseas and died. Brett Favre. Brett Favre. Or as they call him in Something About Mary, Brett Favre.
This is going to
Well, Brett Favre and Brett Favre, you're on my do not ever send $1 to anything you support ever again campaign. I'll expect an apology today. If you all would like to, of course, we're not leftists like the BLM Marxists. But if you'd like to tweet, parlay, or email or whatever, Brett Favre, it'd be nice if you asked him for an apology because we all deserve it. Okay.
Oh, God, I love it. Oh, I love it. Everybody is susceptible. And that is Dan Bongino, who is on the Fox News Network. I bet you when he heard this story, he had to backpedal so much. It's insane. Mr. Bongino, listen, sir, like I said, I respect your craft, but that was by far the most insert foot to mouth, head in your own ass segment I think I've ever seen another human being do. And to have it happen so damn fast. Wow. Let's go into the story and see what's being said now. I wish the story would just play. Let me see if I can actually get it to work. Oh, I'll bet you when Dan Bongino showed up to co-host today, he did not expect that to go down. Oh, tell you what. Oh, he just straight up put out a tweet. Oh, we'll just go to the tweet if the video won't play. That's fine. So here's Brett Favre, including Pat Tillman's name in the interview on Colin Kaepernick, was not a comparison of the two, but a recognition that they both sidelined their football dreams in pursuit of a cause. Pat tragically lost his life making the ultimate sacrifice and deserves the highest honor. Wow, Dan. Wow. Holy cow. Like I said, a little peon, nobody here. You can flick me with like a speck of dust. I'm a nobody fart in the wind. But that we will title insert foot to mouth with head in ass. We'll call that clip for the day. Man. Oh, man. Let's see here. He added that Pat Tillman, who was killed in Afghanistan in 2004 by friendly fire, made the, quote, ultimate sacrifice and deserves the highest honor. Also saying, quote, I can only think of right off the top of my head, Pat Tillman is another guy that did something similar, Favre told TMZ Sports on Saturday, and we regard him as a hero. I'd assume that hero status will be stamped on Kaepernick as well. Kaepernick was in his 6th season with the San Francisco 49ers when he began kneeling in 2016 during the national anthem to protest police brutality. If we only would have listened to him then, maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't be dealing with what we're dealing with now. If we would have just said, all right, let's listen to this guy. Admittedly, he's not the greatest quarterback. But he's got this notoriety at this point. And yeah, Oh, you know what? I feel like I have to include this in this broadcast as well, just for continuity of context. Just for my own sanity. We're gonna go to Google here. We're gonna bring up our best friend Google and go Title 4 USC 8. Respect for the flag. Now, when you deal with respect for the flag, I want you to know something. Republicans have no idea what this even is. Because if you go through all of these letters for what disrespecting the flag is, you're going to see this out of 9 out of 10 Trumplicans. 9 out of 10 Trumplicans in some way, shape, or form are going to participate in one of these events. Really. So how come I know this? And I know that kneeling for the flag during the national anthem is not on this list. It is a false information to say that disrespecting the flag by kneeling is even disrespect. It's not. It's not in the title code for what constitutes disrespect. So for the ignorance of the Trumplicans out there, the mindset that these people have, when they themselves literally don't know that the flag should never be carried flat or horizontally, but aloft and free. They don't even know what that means. They don't even know what that means. So we go back to our old friend Google again. NFL flag national anthem across the field. And you go to just images. That right there is disrespect to the flag. Underneath the title code 4 U.S. Code 8. Respect for the flag. The flag should never be carried flat or horizontally, but always aloft and free. And when I go to Google the NFL, I see this. I see this. I see nothing but this. And you want me to believe that kneeling is the disrespectful part? You Trumplicans are the dumbest fucking people in the history of the human species. Make no mistake about it. And yes, Colin Kaepernick sacrificed a football career to enforce his First Amendment right. Something that this president has all but abolished, trampled on, shit on, and pissed on in front of all of us. And you're going to expect me to think that a peaceful kneeling on the ground during your special song, while you disrespect the flag by bringing it horizontal to the deck and not aloft and free, Title 4, USC 8, Section C. How come I know that and you don't? But yet I'm somehow the guy that doesn't love my country. Why do I know that but you don't? That's how stupid Trumplicans are. Mentally retarded. These people could not tell you what actual disrespect to the flag looks like. Make no mistake about it. So why do I say why is that a kneeling on the ground? How is that not peaceful? How's that? How is this? You're gonna tell me here? I've even got the two pictures side by side here. The first one, the one with the flag, is disrespect under that title code. The kneeling is not in the title code for disrespecting the flag. How this lined up miraculously is just what I call meant to be. You guys are fucking stupid. Trumplicans are the dumbest people in the history of the human species. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know whether to feel sorry for them or just continue to make fun of them. They try to, oh, CJ, you're a liberal, socialist, communist. And it's like, no, dude. I think babies should have machine guns. What? Well, no, that's illegal, because no. Tell me again how you get to the conclusion that is somehow not okay. When I say that to you and I go, hey, I think babies should be able to be issued machine guns, paid for by the government, because if healthcare is a right, so is gun rights. If I have a kid, I should be able to be the custodian for a 50 caliber machine gun in my kid's name, so when they grow up, they'll have their machine gun, and when they have kids and they have little babies, they get machine guns too. Maybe okay, when you turn 18, you get a 50 caliber, but when you're born, you get a 240 Golf. And then maybe if you pay X amount in taxes, you get a Mark 19 grenade launcher. Can we at least be honest that would be like awesome Second Amendment? And then, but as I say that, the Trumplicans will go, well, what's our guy doing? Oh, he likes, don't say he likes to take guns first and go through due process second. We can't talk about that. We can't talk about that. He's got us beat there. We have to ignore that. We're going to ignore that. Okay, well, what about bump stocks? Where's our guy stand? Oh, he wants to ban those too? Yep, okay. I shared something on my Facebook post that I think would be worthy of a visit real quick, because it just illustrates the point that I'm trying to make here when it comes to Trump and the Second Amendment. That at the end of the day, Donald Trump doesn't know the Constitution from his asshole at all. And it's sad to watch people like Dan Bongino, who otherwise would be an honorable man. Instead, he's going to go down as a sycophant bootlicker, ass kisser of the president. But again, a Trumplican nonetheless. And it's just sad that you would think that a man who would otherwise be an honorable person would actually have a decent bone in his body to call out the bullshit when he sees it. But instead, he just got trolled. He literally just got trolled. All right, let me see if I can do this and get this up. There we go. Perfect. We're going to start with what I'm going to call the progression history of Donald Trump supporters and the Second Amendment. It starts off with Donald Trump. Fact, the tighter the gun laws, the more violent. The criminals will always have guns. Trump. And again, you can just see the progression. Trump will be great for unprotecting 2A. Yay, okay, we're happy, woohoo. Politicians are trying to chip away at the Second Amendment. I won't let them take away your guns. Oh, where'd it go? Damn it, Bobby. Did I click the wrong button? We gotta go back. Okay, here it is. Where's that? Come on. All right, where are we at? Politicians are trying to chip away at the Second Amendment. I won't let them take your guns. Our 2A is our Constitution is clear. The right to people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And all the Republicans are like, oh my God, this is my boy. He loves my gun law. He loves my gun rights. He loves them. Uh-oh. Just like they don't want to solve the DACA problem, why don't Democrats pass gun control legislation when they had both the House and Senate during the Obama administration? Because they want to, and now they just talk. Now they've got to put on a happy face mask. I will be strongly pushing comprehensive background checks with an emphasis on mental health. Raise age to 21 and end sale of bump stocks. Congress is in a mood to finally do something on this issue. Quote, I hope. Very strong improvement and strengthening of background checks will be fully Backed by White House legislation moving forward, bump stocks will soon be out. Highly trained expert teachers will be allowed to conceal carry subject to state law. Armed guards okay, deterrent. Obama administration legalized bump stocks, meaning Donald Trump is less Second Amendment than Barack Hussein Obama. Yeah, get your nooses ready, Trumplicans. Obama administration legalized bump stocks. Bad idea. As I promised, today the Department of Justice will issue a ruling banning bump stocks with a mandated comment period. We will ban all devices that turn illegal weapons into illegal machine guns. Donald Trump again. I'm looking into 3D plastic guns being sold to the public. Already spoke to NRA. Doesn't seem to make much sense. Donald Trump. I like taking guns first. Then go through due process second. Yeah, blow your brains out, Trumplicans. Eat your heart out or blow your brains out. One of the two. This guy does not give a fuck at all. You all are some of the dumbest fucking people. And you know when I walked out? I walked out as soon as I realized this guy is a fucking liar. Straight up. A liar. Has no intentions of protecting the Second Amendment. But you all sit there and pretend. You will sit there and have this weird jump through mental mind hoops and try to figure out how you're gonna justify. Well, why'd you vote for the guy? I've heard this more times in 2015 than I care to remember. I voted for the guy because he says what he means and he means what he says. Really? He says what he means and he means what he says. Really? Which part of that did he mean? Did he mean the Obama being more Second Amendment than him? Did he mean the taking guns first or going through due process second? And going through due process second? Did he mean that? Well, what he meant was, you guys are this is the reason why I had to create a whole new word. Just for you. Just for you. Wow. Think about it. I mean, how much more cognitive dissonance do you have to have in your brain noodle to sit there and say Donald Trump is the most protecting president of the Second Amendment? Obama was coming for your guns. He didn't. He's the one that made bump stocks legal. Is that what that even in Donald Trump's own words? Obama administration legalized bump stocks. Bad idea. In Donald Trump's own words, Barack Hussein Obama is more pro-Second Amendment than Donald J. Trump. Wow. Again, I'm just a humble little guy out here in the middle of Meth Dakota. I think babies should be able to be issued machine guns at birth, and that the parents should be the custodians of those machine guns. I'm more pro-Second Amendment than any of you Trumplicans. Make no mistake about it. Wow. I can't believe it. Honestly. I actually, you know what? I can believe it. I did believe it, and that's why I said, you see the Libertarian logo? I'm not running as a Republican, because Republicans aren't Republicans anymore. They're Trumplicans. We had to I coined a word so that way we could separate. People are like, listen, CJ, I've been a lifelong conservative. I believe in conservative values. I'm very family orientated. I go to church. I love my country. I love people in it. But I'm not like him, man. In fact, I own a bump stock. In fact, I'm kind of disappointed that he did that. But, he's the president. I'm just one vote, CJ. I've been voting Republican for all my life, and when I heard you say Republicans are retarded, it made me feel bad. And I know I call liberals snowflakes, but
but, you know, they really are, and I really just appreciate it if, you know, I can't tune into your videos because it makes me feel bad, and I feel stupid, so I just pretend you don't exist, but I know you do, and I can hear Trump saying something stupid, and I know that you're the one that's going to be saying something next day, and I can't debate you, and I want to click the link in your video and join you, but you're just going to call me retarded. I'm not even really going to vote for Trump. In fact, maybe I'll look into Jo Jorgensen because she's a nice lady.
I feel bad for you guys. Really bad for you. I mean, Democrats got a child molesting kid sniffer, a public kid sniffer running for them, but you guys got Donald fucking Trump. I mean, how do you prefer your sexual allegations, publicly or alleged? I mean, I prefer mine to be none, and again, Dr. Jo Jorgensen's the only person that's earned my vote in 2020. It's the only one that makes sense because Americans need a therapist. Not the rapist, the therapist in the race. Seriously. I can't control that. This level is stupid anymore. So yeah, Trumplicans, if you guys blow your brains out in mass, it wouldn't affect me at all. I would lose zero sleep. I'm sure, in fact, there are some of you that will do more mental gymnastics to try to counter what I'm saying here. But, you know, like I said, if ultimately what leads to like the bottom picture here, because that is the one you all keep avoiding. That is the one that you guys, well, you know, he didn't mean it that way. He didn't mean it that way. And some have even gone to go as far as saying that this is a conspiracy. That he didn't actually say that. And so we just go once again to our alphabet and we go, I like taking guns first and then going to court to get the due process, Mike. And now which brand would you like? Which one of these has been altered and changed when it's reported by every single news outlet? Every single news outlet has reported that this is what he said. We'll just go to this one and we'll just click the link and see if it'll actually play.
Yes, go ahead, Mike.
Well, in the category, you've spoken about it, Mr. President, gun violence restraining orders. They're called. California actually has a version of this. And I think you, in your meeting with governors earlier this week, individually and as a group, we spoke about states taking steps. But the focus is to literally give families and give local law enforcement additional tools if an individual is reported to be a potential danger to themselves or others. Allow due process so that no one's rights are trampled, but the ability to go to court, obtain an order, and then collect not only the firearms, but any weapons in the possession of that individual.
Or might take the firearms first and then go to court, because that's another system, because a lot of times by the time you go to court, it takes so long to go to court to get the due process procedures. I like taking the guns early, like in this crazy man's case that just took place in Florida. He had a lot of firearms. They saw everything. To go to court would have taken a long time. So you could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process second.
Okay, the president and the attorney general.
Oh, I guess I was muted. Okay. It happens to the best of us. Does anybody need me to replay that? Anybody? Anybody at all need me to go back and click that and say, did he really, do I need to do it from a different news channel? How about Fox News? Should I go back to Fox News for you Trumplicans that need me to just to baby food feed you? That way it's coming from your own home turf. Anyways, that's all I gotta say about that today. If they're having a hard time changing the news cycle, that's all this is, folks. They don't know what they're gonna hit you with next. But with that being said, I have somebody backstage. You know him as the Living Man. I know him as Mr. Christopher Bruce. How are you doing today, sir?
Good morning, sir. Good morning. And a happy day it may be.
Well,
am
what do
I
you got for us
echoing or
today?
is my sound off like that?
Yeah, if you're echoing, it's on your end. There's nothing on my
Yeah.
end. Sure.
Okay, well, cool. Now, I do have something to input on your little Second Amendment rant this morning.
Okay.
I would like to say that the courts have come up with, well, essentially, the presidential and congressional machine has been utilizing the courts and the criminal courts to remove guns from people for quite some time now. Now, if you're of course, if you're a felon, you don't get a gun. But then they move on to people that have been arrested for stalking, harassment. No contact orders now are a good reason to take guns away from people. Not that I've ever owned one, by the way, because I myself don't like guns. I won't have one in my home, won't have one in my area. Oh, by the way, did you happen to notice, Mr. Abernathy, that there was a story in Google yesterday that Sioux Falls has now incorporated a drone section to their police department. Did you notice that one? Hello, I can't hear you.
Let's go to our good friend Alphabet and see if it's there. Sioux Falls includes drone in police unit.
Yep, they're going to be flying drones over people's homes and spying on them and so on and so forth.
All right. The mission of the Sioux Falls Police Department Unmanned Aircraft System program is to protect the lives and property of residents and visitors in the constitutionally and legally sound manner in compliance with Federal Aviation Administration regulations. A UAS may be utilized in circumstances that would save life and property, as well as in situations to detect dangers that could not otherwise be seen. Unmanned aircraft systems, commonly referred to as drones, have proven to be a valuable resource for law enforcement, first responders, and during emergency service operations. The Sioux Falls Police Department and many other law enforcement agencies have adopted drone programs after seeing the benefits and values they provide to public safety. So they're doing this. They're doing this all under the guise of public safety.
Yes, of course. And as just about everything else they have issued police departments or allowed police departments to do, it's all about public safety, isn't it? Is it not? And is everything in our country not being implemented due to national security and or public safety? I love how government operates. I love how police forces operate. I love how they incorporate this stuff under the guise that it's going to help us. It's going to help us. It's going to be better for us. And by the way, your expectation of privacy is out the window. But who cares about that, right? Who cares?
No, I'm glad you say that because
sitting at your window.
I'm glad you say that. How are you protecting my privacy and civil rights? Personnel operating an UAS shall be considerate of privacy rights. Oh, they're considerate of privacy rights. Absent a warrant or extingent circumstances, shall not intentionally record or transmit images any locations where persons would have been responsible.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well,
I don't.
Let me tell you, folks. I'm sorry, but in the hands of narcissistic control freaks, this is nothing but bad news. I'm sure that when we're not looking, we'll be taking pictures of you naked in your bedroom. But neither here nor there. You know, let's call this
the UAS shall not be the UAS shall not be used to conduct random surveillance activities to target a person based solely on individual characteristics such as, but not limited to, race, ethnicity, origin, national origin, religion.
No.
To harass, intimidate, or discriminate any groups, to carry any weaponry of any kind.
Forget about it. It's not
Mr. Bruce,
happen.
what you're doing is you're bringing this up today so you can call it 5 years from now when the reports come out and the leaks happen, and you can say, remember, Coffee and a Conversation, episode 22. I said it then. I said it on Coffee and a Conversation, episode 22. And now in the same Sioux Falls article, there it is. They're leaking your nudies all over social media.
Right. I think we can safely assume that these things will happen. Just hang in there.
It's coming. Mr. Bruce, you got anything else for the day? That's a hell of a story to bring up.
No, sir. No,
Man.
I would definitely thought I would put that out there. And also I would like to say that you're absolutely right. But the Trumpicans, are no better than the Democrats. Neither one of them represent their parties like they used to. Neither one of them has the same values that they used to. I myself am neither nor do not appreciate either party. Don't even like independents. Don't like anybody, because to be political is to just suck, okay? Let's not be political. Now, I realize that you have to suck. You are running for office, okay? So we have to do that. Okay, but neither here nor there. And I would just rather have you in there than just about anybody, but neither here nor there. Political views as a whole just suck. Okay,
hey Mr. Bruce, if I'm the one guy you're like, well, if it had to be anybody, I'll give CJ a shot. I appreciate that.
Well, believe me, if I still lived in South Dakota, by God, you would be the first person I would vote for. Unfortunately, I'm not a resident anymore. I belong to Kentucky now. We'll see how long that lasts, of course. But neither here nor there. I'm going to be here. I'm not going to be in South Dakota, by the way, because I owe South Dakota courts $100, and I'm not going to go to jail for $100, guys. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. And I'm most certainly not going to pay a judge for setting me up for harassment and fucking stalking charges, okay? It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to ever go back to South Dakota.
See, the problem, this is one of the things that I've always said is, once you go to a different state, you can talk all the shit you want about the state you used to live in, the corruptions, the crimes, the people, the names, and
Correct.
I actually encourage people to move out of the state that is violating their rights. Now, granted, the next state might, take away your rights a little slower, a little different.
Absolutely.
But at least
we know this.
At least you get to air your grievance out until the next state gets involved.
Exactly. Now, I would like to say one more thing, if you wouldn't mind. I don't know if you belong, but there's a guy out there, and this guy is really a really good guy. He has dug up stuff that I didn't even know existed as far as your rights and as far as things are concerned. I want you to friend him if it's at all possible. Do me a favor, look up two places. First, I want you to look up the name Mike Lee Foster and look at him and look at what he's doing and look at what he's putting out there. I think you're going to really want a guy like this on your side at some point. He's going to be running for office in 2020. I know that. Also, he runs a group called We the People of Sioux Falls. Make sure you check out that group and make sure you look at some of his posts, because he goes into incredible detail on how to uphold your rights, how to get your rights, and also he digs up stuff that the common law that we just don't practice anymore, we don't know about anymore, and that the courts are trying to shoo us away from. This guy has it down. He listens to everything I say. We put out things together. He shares everything with me. I share everything with him. I think you'll really appreciate what he's doing. You might want to give this guy a shout and see what he's about, and I think you're going to really like what you see.
Well, why don't you shoot him this link to this video and tell him to join the broadcast sometime?
I sure will. He actually had just started speaking out at city council meetings, which, that's something that we should all do anyway. And he was very attentive as to what was going on with me. Also, Scott Ehrlisman, the guy that writes the South Dakota, you know about that one, don't you?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, you might want to check that out too, because a lot of and make sure you look over the stuff that he was writing about me, because as we went along and as I was shooting him stuff that pertained to that case, he started writing stuff about me too. And I think you'd really appreciate some of the stuff he writes about too, because he gets into some stuff about South Dakota too, and he doesn't like the mayor of Sioux Falls any better than I do. So.
Yeah, no, Tanakin is a
that
joke.
makes him a good person to start with.
Tanakin is nothing more than a Kristi Noem lapdog. He is her
I agree.
bitch. So, all right, Mr. Bruce, you got anything else before I go?
No. Go on with your rant. Please enjoy your show. I will join again at some point.
Sounds good. We look forward to it. Mr. Bruce, the living man, everybody. Thank you for joining me this morning. All right. So, man, I don't even know where to go with that. After Mr. Bruce comes on, it's always even brought a news story, proof, facts, and everything to the table to say, hey, this is what I'm saying. This is why I'm saying it. So, man, what a interesting interview, I guess. Again, Aunt Kathy, if you're still watching, hello, have a good day yourself. Oh man, let's see here. Matt, I missed your comment there earlier. I don't know if you're watching, but thank you for tuning in, sir. Good morning, sir. If Trump gets reelected, I think our gun rights will take a major hit next term. Yeah. Especially after all these shootings. You guys don't think that, if you're a Trumplican right now, you just wait until they start saying, we've got all these shootings, police are being abolished in Democrat cities, federally we're going to take away all guns. You guys are going to go nuts. I hope it doesn't happen. But to call him the most Second Amendment loving president in the history of presidents, when Donald J. Trump himself admits that Barack Obama is more pro Second Amendment than him, whew, man. And Mr. Bruce is right. They've been taking guns for a while. Just so happens to be it's now kind of public knowledge that this is what they're doing. So, all right, real quick to round off the news for the day. Michael Keaton's Batman could completely change the DCEU. Yes. Michael Keaton is returning to play Batman. Yeah. That is a story that I look forward to. Just kind of throwing that out there here. And then just a story that we covered as the East River coordinator for the Libertarian Party of South Dakota. I feel it's kind of necessary to report on this story here. Aberdeen police announced Florida man. What you doing, Florida man? Why are you in South Dakota? Arrested from assault on Godert. Is that his name? Is that how you say it? Aberdeen Police Department announced a Florida man has been arrested in connection with the assault early Saturday morning at the Zoo Bar. Police arrested Kyle Douglas Hadala, 29. He's charged with simple assault. Authorities say the victim, as it a press release? Yeah, we'll just go to the press release here real quick. Oh, well. Man, all right. Either way, I feel like at the end of the day, Florida man, when you come to South Dakota, and don't fight NFL players. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Well, another story I didn't get to here, but just newsworthy and noteworthy for the day. Pence and his wife voted by mail in Indiana GOP primary using old address. Just goes to show hypocrisy knows no limits, knows no bounds. The talking points are always stupid, and the news cycle is always a struggle to change. But remember, Americans have attention spans that can only be measured in nanoseconds. That's it. Trumplicans have an attention span that's measured way faster than a nanosecond. Democrats, You're about the same. Any given day, one's a little slower than the other. Makes no sense. Mr. Dingle says they probably ran out of meth down in Florida. Well, yeah, when you come to the meth capital of the world here in Meth, Dakota, and you fight football players, Florida, man, come on now. So, with that being said, you guys, I went a little bit over. I'm going to be opening up the Digital Studio of Freedom here in a little bit. Probably in the next 45 minutes to an hour, where you can find DJ CJ playing on the Freedom Radio Network in the Digital Studio of Freedom at the Command Center of Freedom. Please check out Adam versus the Man. It's been a fun show to be a part of, and it's just kind of something similar like this, except Adam's a lot nicer, speaks a lot more articulate, less ums and ahs, less "you're retarded." So hopefully you guys will tune into that. And like I said, it's fun to produce. Last night, a little quick side note, Spike Cohen had an emergency situation. Oh, I forgot. We're going to go to some mail here real quick. The Equality of South Dakota Political Action Committee. I guess they've noticed, or maybe something automatically generated. But let's see here. 2 sheets for the Equality South Dakota Political Action Committee. Dear candidate, we value your desire to serve the state of South Dakota. Thank you for running for the legislative or statewide office. We're interested in learning about your viewpoints regarding LGBTQ+ and two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer issues. We would greatly appreciate it if you could take a few minutes to answer our questionnaire. The results will help us determine endorsements of candidates. You can complete this form the following ways. Complete online, fill out and endorse. Deadline is June 30th. Lawrence Novotny. Are you related to Steve Novotny? I debated Steve. He's definitely not about LGBTQ rights. So I will fill this out online and I will get you my response, but allow me to answer publicly. If you're a person, it doesn't matter what your Ghibli bits are. As long the state and government have no right or authority to tell you who you can love, who you can marry, what you can do with your Ghibli bits. They have no right to tell you that you have to identify a certain way. Although I will say that I would hate to see a biological man, beating up a biological woman. I think sports kind of is where I draw the line, if I'm being honest. But as far as treating people like people, the state, the government has no right to tell you who you can love, who you can marry, who you spend your life with. As long as you're not hurting others, hurting children, hurting anybody, really. And, I assure you, I am more supportive of LGBTQ rights than, and again, even in that community, the plus sign is added as insert whatever somebody else may be. If you're pansexual, I don't really know what that even is. I'm not into pans. I mean, if you like cars, who you love, it's not up to the government, period. So, that would be my answer to the Equality South Dakota Political Action Committee. Not that you will watch this video or care what I really do have to say about the issue, but I guarantee you, if you breathe oxygen, I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you sound like. I don't care who you love. If I was the governor, the president, the state senator, a house member, local city councilman, what you do with your Ghibli bits, as long as it's with another consenting adult, is your business. The government has no right either way to tell you what you can and can't do with your Ghibli bits. As long as it's with other consenting adults. Anybody else in the comments? I'll give it about another minute or two here. The coffee's getting cold. Again, they are struggling to change the news cycle. That's a fact. And in the result, the media is in this vacuum right now where they're just waiting for the next catastrophe, big story. Like when I was watching Miko Hayes, who, again, a respected journalist down there in Wichita, highly recommend that you go check out Discuss. And I believe it's discussglobal.com. When he was down there and the Proud Boys showed up and you see all the cameras up in the air and everybody wants that to capture that viral moment. And so I think America is desperate for a news cycle change. It's coming. It's coming. And it might not be the alien invasion. It might be war with China. There's battleships going to China right now. Who knows what it's going to be, but I promise you it's not going to be good for people. Living, breathing people. Yes, people will die. When the news cycle changes in this country, people die. Every time. Whether you listen to me or don't, I don't care. The fact still remains. When the news cycles in this country change, and even globally, people die. Real life people. What do we do? What do we do? I will be back tomorrow morning for a cup of coffee and a conversation. If you want to join this broadcast, if you've got anything to add to the conversation, like the living man Mr. Bruce did, you can click the link in the description. In Facebook, it's above the video. In YouTube, it's below the video. You can join the broadcast. I'll give you half my screen. And you can give us your brain noodle thoughts for the day. I'll listen. We can always agree to where we disagree. But, really when it comes down to it, the choice is always yours on what kind of day you want to have. That's not just a closing call sign. I literally mean that every day I say it. I guess my green screen ain't really working here, huh? Yeah, gotta work on that. I'll give it like I said, I'll just give it a little bit more time in case anybody has any more brain noodle thoughts. In fact, I didn't put any on the screen at all. So I'm actually going to save comments for the end, where at the end, unless I take a comment break somewhere in between because I see some relevant comments, I'm going to try to leave all of that to my ranting to the end. So, oh, well, David Mole, good job. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm just a guy. I'm a human. I'm a person. I'm just as fallible as you are. I'm not, and I don't mean that directed to anybody individually. I mean, everybody is fallible. Everybody can make mistakes. Hell, we just watched Dan Bongino today insert foot in mouth. I'm looking forward to the apology, though. Man, if there's one thing I know about Dan Bongino, he says he's a man of honor and integrity, and I hope he'll put his money where his apology is and donate to one of Brett Favre's most valuable charities. I mean, he's a new co-owner of Parler. I mean, he's got money, folks. He doesn't worry about where his next meal comes from or how he's going to pay that bill next time. He's got that on lock. But I always find that a man's true honor and integrity comes from being able to apologize when he's wrong. So that will be very interesting to see if he will actually go there. So, anybody else got anything before I go? Again, coffee's getting cold, conversation's getting old, just like my soul. All right. Well, with that being said, I guess that's just the end of the day. You guys have a good day or don't. The choice is always yours.
Welcome to Coffee and a Conversation hosted by CJ Abernathy for South Dakota District